What's up, YouTube? It's Mr. Kleiner here, and I'm back. I'm in Illinois for the holidays. So after a very extensive, incomplete tank cleaning, thought I'd get a video out for you guys. I have a little bit more rearranging to do. I have a little bit of coral to sell or trade, and that should open up the sand bed quite a bit. And that's what my kind of goal is to get a lot of the stuff away from the sand bed, because I think it looks awful when it's cluttered. But so this is the overall tank shot. I guess everything's doing really well. The food regimen I gave my parents is doing really well. The dosing regimen was working perfectly. I had to up it, once or twice throughout the 6 months I was gone. Not really much else changed. A couple little mishaps. My mag drive died, so we replaced it with the Saichi Synchro 3.0. One of the vortex actually, this shaft just broke, which is why I have a big Corellia up there in the top left, just to get some extra flow in there. What else? I think the apex went a little haywire a while ago. But other than that, it's been a kind of just a smooth ride. I got text updates from my parents usually once a week, if not at the least is once every 2 weeks. I got updates, and then I FaceTimed with my parents, and they showed me the tank all the time. And then they sent me that video that I posted a while back. Granted, it wasn't the best quality, but it was something, and I was glad I could share it with you guys. But I just, the growth on this tank is insane. If you guys can go back and watch my most, I guess it would be 3 videos ago, the video right before I left, and you can see some of the corals are way bigger now. And that's pretty cool. Oh, another big tragedy is I lost my gold Maxima clam and the brain, and the elegance is looking like garbage. And no matter what I do, I'm trying to figure out what happened, but I can't. Anyway, the growth on some of the corals is absolutely amazing. But I'm gonna kind of zoom in for you guys here, and I'll be right back. Alright, so we're gonna start with my favorite rock in the tank. This rock is probably one of the most mature looking structures in my tank, mainly because I dropped a coral into one of the crevices right before I left, and that coral actually took off. So, and I always like the looks of tanks where corals are kind of growing in and around each other, and I actually posted a picture on Facebook of it. But this little group of corals right here is just absolutely, like, it looks so natural, because the oculus is growing right in front of the, green cap, which is right next to the Formosa, which is right above the red cap. I don't know if I could ever have planted those frags on purpose like that, to grow like that, but it looks amazing from the top down, sorry. But even that, you can see, if you can go back and look at some of the pictures I posted on Facebook of the Hawkins, it's double the size, which is amazing, because coral's not, it's very sensitive acro. It's smooth skin Hawkins, sorry, the dogs are going to be playing. But anyway, the Formosa is actually getting an insane amount of growth as well, and that's one I struggled with a lot. Hey, come here. Come here. There we go. And it went from an entire colony about twice this size down to a frag half the size. So now it's back to kind of glory, but not really. This acro right here I actually got from a friend on NanoReef. The color looks awful on camera, and I can't get it to look right, but I posted a top-down picture on Flickr and on NanoReef where you can see the color a lot better, because I think it's one of those corals that always looks better from the top down. So definitely go check that out. But this coral, we dubbed it the Catrapora because we could never figure out what type of acro it is. And that's her username is MetroCat, so that's where I got that from. But that coral is easily turning into a crown in my tank. And but let's move on to my second favorite rock, and that's this rock right here. Actually, I'm going to slide this over as well. Straight on view. But this rock has some of my favorite coral on it. The Setosa is, I don't know if you guys saw my top 20 favorite SPS video, but the Setosa is one of the only Monopora to make it, and it's just its growth pattern and everything else about it. Like, that's why. It's because it's just different, and it's red and it's bold and it's awesome. But yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. The Sohartonite right to the left. That coral is finally getting past its, get removed from the rock, get dipped, put on the frag rack, get mounted again, get re-dipped. It's finally getting past that. Hey, come here. And so it's finally actually doing really well now. It's getting established. There's a little bit of red bugs on it, but not enough to inhibit growth and polyp extension at night. So I think it's just kind of getting healthier, and it's being able to defend itself from these natural predators. And if it starts to get really bad, I'll probably get some banded-faced pipefish and some interceptor to nuke everything in the tank, or nuke all the red bugs. Sorry, but. Let's move on to the red delicate, which is down there in that middle there. This coral, I love taking pictures of this coral because it's easily one of the most dynamic corals I have. This really great maroon red with these bright blue tips and green polyps. I don't know if you guys follow me on Facebook or Nannery, but those pictures are all over there. And I actually just posted a macro shot on Instagram, which is looking really well. But yeah, this coral, this was about the size of maybe my pinky, but it was one stalk, so it was really skinny, and it was maybe 3 inches long. But now it's turning into this little mini colony, and I actually have 4 mini colonies. I have one here, I have one back there, and then I have one right there, and then I have one up top here. And that one's actually going to a friend. But yeah, so I have 4 of those, and this is one of those corals I could just have endless amounts of and just plant them everywhere, and I would be completely content. But actually, some new additions since I'm on this rock is I actually got an Aura Purple Stylophora, and now my local fish store carries Aura stuff, and it was so hard not to drop like $300 in Aura coral. But I picked out a purple polyp stylo, and then a red digi, which is down on the back rock, which is what we'll get to next. So I'll cut the video and go over there. So I can't get too good of a view on this rock because it's the angle it's at, and it's behind the other rock. But you can see the red digis down there in the bottom middle there. You can also see the necrosing on the green slimer. I'm pretty sure that coral's just sick, because that was from the original colony for my 29 gallon, and no matter what I did, it would always just slowly start to necrose. And I'm just gonna let this one go, because literally nothing else is necrosing. Even some of the harder stuff, like the red dragon that's right next to it's fine. My Hawkins fine. My Oculus is fine. The other green slimer colony is fine, and I think it's just that particular strand or whatever is sick, and I'm just gonna let it go. If it goes, it goes. If it survives, it survives, because I'm done fragging it down and then having it regrow, explode in growth again, and then having it die off again. If it goes, it goes. If it grows, it grows. I'm done messing with it. But you can see my purple rimmed green Monty. Those things are amazing. The big colony that's right, where's my finger? Right there. That's going to the Nano Reef meetup at Reefwise for trade or for free. I'm just trying to get rid of it. It's one of those corals that's just too big for my tank, and I really don't have a place for it right now. I'd rather, see this one that's mounted here in the middle. That's actually started out small, and it kind of like grew to the shape of that rock, and that's kind of like grew into the scape. Whereas that one's just so big and it's so misshapen that I don't know how to fit it into my scape anywhere without completely destroying my scape anyway. So there's that. But I can take you to look on the frag rack while I'm over here. It's not that extensive, but I have a gold millie, the refraction from the light, a purple Monty, green slimer, and another frag of the Catrapora, which is for that same friend that's getting this big colony up top there. But now, what else is new? I'm sure you guys want to see my zoanthids. They're actually surviving. I used to have such bad luck with zoanthids, and now they're actually doing okay. So I'm trying to get to focus, but the refraction is pretty bad. They're actually doing well. And then I actually have some frags of eagle eyes I got these from Drew's Aquarium like a year ago, and they're finally like taking off and like growing and expanding, and it's amazing. So that's nice that I can actually keep zoanthids now. But all this stuff on the sand bed's kind of boring. I'll show you guys the anemones. I know you guys saw the video on YouTube already, the sneak peek, but these things are amazing. There's actually 5 of them, and I'll put a picture up in the video, or I might just take all the pictures that I took over the course of the last 2 days, and I'll put them all at the end of this video for you guys to enjoy. But they were all shrunk up, and they looked like little balls of flesh. It was actually pretty cool. But yeah, the anemones, actually they lost their bubbles. For the most part, they lost their bubbles when the clowns moved in. So that's something to consider. If you want a bubble tip that keeps its bubbles indefinitely, don't get clownfish, and they'll keep their bubbles. That's what I've noticed. As soon as the clownfish moved in, they elongated. There's still a little bit of bubbles to them, but not as much. They used to look like little flowers, and so now, not so much. But everything else on the sand bed's kind of boring. But I'll give you one last shot before I take you down to the sump, and I'll show you what I did down there. But sorry, I gotta focus here. So this is the tank as it is right now. So I'll go a little farther. So yeah, I mean it's going really well. I just have to move some of the bigger coral around. Oh, and the green star pops. I even forgot to mention that. It was this little nub on the left there. That little piece, that was the original piece, and it just spread across the top, but that's irrelevant. So yeah, this entire system, I'm going to take you down underneath, and I'll show you what I did in the sump underneath, and I'll go over some of my dosing supplements and all that stuff that's changed. So I'll be right back. Alrighty, so here's the sump. The first major change I did, I guess, would be I cleaned off a lot of the coralline on the front so I can actually see into my sump. Other than that, I actually swapped out my skimmers. The INS 80, which is in here right now, was the skimmer that was on my frag tank. And that skimmer is actually this skimmer's a lot more powerful, it's a lot quieter, and it's a lot more efficient. So I thought, since how much I actually feed this tank, hey, she's deaf, so I can't really, like, I feel like way better. And so, it's a lot more efficient, so I'm hoping with how much I feed this tank, the skimmer will help pull out some of that stuff, because I'm still going to feed, you know, turn it off for the 2 hours, let the tank absorb it all, and then have the skimmer turn back on and just skim it all out. So that's why I supersized the skimmer. If I didn't do that, I probably would have added or started some sort of carbon dosing. Probably vodka dosing actually looks the best, or vinegar. Vinegar has a little bit more wiggle room, or biopellets. Biopellets have really mixed reviews, really work for some people, really don't work for others, so I decided to just go supersize the skimmer. I also put a media bag around the drain line to help the bubbles kind of get trapped in the bag and then just rise right up instead of getting, you know, drifted all the way across and just make the tank super foamy and whatnot. So next thing I did was I cleaned out the refugium and basically took out all of the algae because it had this nasty little like film algae on the top, and it was just blocking all the light, so all my Colpera died. So I don't know what I'm going to do with the refugium. Part of me wants to make it like a little soft coral haven with like xenia and a toadstool, maybe some like designer macros. The other part of me is if those macros take over, they're just going to smother the coral, and then I'm going to be out all that money anyway. So I'm really not sure what I want to do with that. I'd also have to change the lighting if I got more coral. So I could probably use my Radion, but I don't know what I want to do. Mounting it up on top of the cabinet last time was a bitch, and I don't feel like doing it again. But anyway, so I can take you through all my supplements again. So I added another bottle to my dosing regimen. Sorry, I haven't moved the cord from the front to the back yet. So I added K-Balance, and this is replacing my Elos potassium solution. So I'm using that K-Balance instead. I'm still using B-Balance. B-Balance is the sole reason I think all of the reds in my tank look amazing. But Yeah. Oh, sorry. The bottle right next to it is Fulls Extra. That stuff is extra special. That stuff is amazing. Even if you're not using Viovit, use Fulls Extra because it just makes colors look so much deeper and richer and amazing. I can't say enough good things about Fulls Extra. Fulls Extra and Sponge Power, which is behind there. I'll get there in a little bit. I'm still using the Thera New Life Spectrum. That's Reef Chili there. And then the blue bottle right there with the black top, that is Bright Will Aquatics Amino Acids. And then there's actually an iodine bottle behind that. And I still dose iodine. I don't really, 2 drops a week. And I think the purples look better. And that's really what iodine really is for in terms of color. Not in terms of soft coral growth, because I don't have a lot of soft coral, but it's really helping my purples in my tank, and that is undeniable because my purple Monty Cap is looking amazing since I started dosing it consistently. The big bottle right in front facing the wrong direction is Acro Power. That white bottle in the center is now the Vibe, which is amazing. One of the only coral dips that kills red bugs consistently. And it's very, very easy on smooth skin acros. Like I dipped the Hawkins Echinata in and didn't stress it out or brown it out at all. So it's definitely, and I doubled the strength of the solution, so definitely worth a shot. If you guys are looking into a coral dip, I actually added Reefroids to the mix, which I heard is great. I haven't used it yet, but my parents have been using it the last couple weeks and they say it's good, and I'm still using my trusty Cyclop Bees. So, and then I have some other stuff in the fridge. You know, some Azox, the Coral Vitalizer, which is another product that I highly recommend you guys use, even if you're not using Zeovit system completely. Coral Vitalizer is just an amazing color enhancer and color growth and just coral health supplement. In the freezer, I have Reef Frenzy, Rod's Food, Mysis, and Silver Sides for the anemones. And then I'm missing something, Azox, and then which is in the fridge, Phytoplankton, and there's one more. I don't know, can't remember what it is, but there's one more. So I have a big range of supplements that I use on this tank, and I think that's part of the reason why this tank is looking so good. Another thing I did is the probes are actually mounted on this right wall, and I actually have the Vertex probe holder, and that thing's amazing, I gotta admit. And I actually have the Vertex dosing line holder, which I can actually show you because it's not at an awful angle. That little thing right there, I don't know if you guys can see it. Oh, the depth of field is so shallow, but it's those little silver magnets. That's holding my 3 dosing lines, which are right there. You can see them. But yeah, Vertex makes awesome stuff, and if I could have an entire tank of Vertex things, I definitely would. Last but not least, I swapped out the the return pump with a Saichi 3.0, and that is right there. Sorry, I don't have a really camera-friendly sump. I gotta admit, it's very hidden behind the walls. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's probably kind of a long one. I'll go ahead and put some pictures of all this stuff. I took some night shots yesterday, so I'll put those pictures in at the end. I'll put all my macro pictures, my top-down pictures. The only thing I'm really bad at taking pictures-wise is fish. I just, for some reason, I cannot take pictures of fish. So, that being said, thank you guys for putting up with my long absence. I hope I'll get a couple videos out soon. I have a couple videos ideas, but I'm going to pitch them to you right now. There's one video I wanted to do. It's called Things I'd Never Do in the Hobby. And that's just a big long list of just things people do that I will never ever do. And I might put reasons behind it, I might not, I'm not sure. There's another one, is why I overfeed, and what I feed and why I feed so much. That was a video I was going to do. And I think that's all I got for this video. I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas if I don't get a video out before that. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays for all of you guys who are international or don't celebrate Christmas like me. But I might do my normal, I actually will do my normal New Year's video. I always put video out on New Year's, so hope you guys have a wonderful day, and let me know if you guys want to see anything in specific or anything like that. And I'll see you later. Bye, guys.